All right. Hey, everybody. How's everybody doing? Hope everybody is doing okay. I apologize for taking a little bit longer. I have a small issue on my page. Somebody's trying to hack the live stream, and I've been trying to deal with this real fast, but real fast doesn't happen. So, um, hey, all. So I am just going to ask you guys to never, ever, ever click on anything that doesn't come from me, please. So what happened last year was that I was doing live paintings from my page, and these people, they would just grab my stream, right, and then they would broadcast it to whatever they wanted to broadcast it to. Let me know if you can hear me. Okay. Um, and so that's why I moved everything to the group. And then the last couple of paintings, I thought, well, let's give it a try and let's see how it goes. And so I did both my group and the page. And back. Keep trying to steal my back. Ugh, that is awful. Okay, y'all, I am so sorry. This must be confusing because I think I put the banner on that says that painting the teal or black background. I'm so sorry. I did not read that because I was trying to deal with that also. So, no, you do not need to paint any background. You're good. You're all good. I am so sorry if that caused any confusion. Let's see. We can hear me. Wonderful, loud and clear, ready to paint. The Cardinal, so the colors, just as I said, white, black, ultramarine, excuse me, bright red, little bit of yellow. We're going to need like a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of yellow. And I'm going to use a large flat, a medium, right here, large flat, medium, large flat, medium filbert, small filbert, and I have my small round somewhere here. Yes, and a small round. So I think this should be enough. Okay. I will show you how to paint the cardinal step by step freehand. But if you're not comfortable doing that, there is a printable that you can get in the guide. So print out the page that works with your size. I'm also going to show you as soon as we hop on this on the desk view, right? I'm going to show you how to do that. And so I'm going to take you step by step and show you how you can paint it, or you can either trace it, or you can transfer it with carbon paper, or I don't like carbon paper. I prefer, oh my gosh, what's that other called? Oh, yeah, graphite. I prefer graphite paper. It's like the best. You can do that. Let me think about what else I need to tell you before we start painting. And then as soon as we start painting, I will just keep talking and telling you all the other things about myself, about this business, about what we do here, about this group. So again, let me know if this is your first time painting. So put in first time. Let me know if you're painting with your family. I got a few messages that people were gathering their families together to paint this, and it's like just amazing to me. I am not ignoring your questions, okay? I will answer in a second. Also, I was thinking, yes, tell us if this is if you're painting for your birthday or something, so that we can all wish you happy birthday. I mentioned, I heard that also. First time in this group, have painted before with someone I do on Wednesday nights. Wonderful. Husband and I, first time, fourth time. Nice. Welcome back. First time. Tamerlane says second. Christmas decor, first time in this group. Wonderful, wonderful. Everybody, welcome, welcome. I'm so excited to have you here. Becky, happy birthday! First time, wonderful. So, guys, if this is your first time painting with me or painting online, you might notice that I go a little bit fast, even though I have a 16 by 20 here. This is a very good size. It helps me slow down many, many, many times. Yeah. Um, it helps me slow down and it helps you catch up, right? But if you feel like you're falling behind, things are not working, you feel like you're starting to get frustrated, just keep me like back there blabbering in the background, like keep an eye on what's happening once in a while. Just keep your speed. Replay will be available in the group. So don't feel like you have to do it like the same way I do it. Okay. Take your time, enjoy it. I love painting cardinals. So let's just have fun. Let's relax. This is why we're here. We're here to create something fun, right? And let's begin. Okay, so this is what's going to happen. I'm going to switch the view directly to my desk. So you are only going to have my desk in front of you now. No Luba. Cardinals were my mama's favorite. She passed in 2013. Thank you for letting me join. I am so sorry you lost your mama. That is so hard. Terry loves Cardinals. It's their last name. The live video has ended where I am. Is this happening to anyone else? Uh-oh. People? Are you seeing me, people? Let me know if you can still see me, because if something's happening. Still good. I see you. Okay, so here, Kathy's mom's favorite too in heaven since 2016. Yeah, oh, okay. I am so sorry, y'all. This is so hard. Okay, so here's what happens. Let me tell you before we start painting. If we lose connection, it happened before. Just be patient. I will reconnect. Okay. If I lose connection to the point that I cannot reconnect, I will finish the lesson. I will make a video of it and I will put it up in the group. And I will also send everybody an email so that you can all finish your painting. Okay. So please don't worry if you lose it. Okay. I'll be back. I am not going anywhere. Okay. All right. So let's paint. I'm going to need a paper plate for my colors. I'm going to need... So with the painting like this, right, we have birch trees on gray background. The first kind of intuitive approach to this, right, is to paint everything gray, make your background, and then paint the birch trees, right? We're gonna go absolutely different direction. We're gonna paint white background and then we're gonna add our gray like in between the trees, because it's much easier to paint gray on white rather than white on gray. Does that make sense? Yeah? Okay. So if you're painting on canvas, use either a tiny mist or like maybe you have a small spray bottle like this, or maybe you just have a large brush and just make it wet. Okay, and just go like that and put a little bit of water all over your canvas. All right. I am painting in my mixed media pad because I ran out of space. I ran out of space for my canvases. And so now I just paint in here. What you need to know is you will notice that my paper kind of gets a little bit wavy. Don't worry about that. It comes back to its normal state later. Okay, so if you are painting on paper, this can happen. Just make sure that you're painting on something heavy that's mixed media or acrylic appropriate. Okay. All right, let's go. So, whole bunch of white. A little of black, not as much. Or ultramarine. Red, I'm gonna add later because if I add it right now, it'll just dry off. And we do not want that. All right, dampen your brush. Take the excess water off. Grab a whole lot of white and just paint your whole canvas white. And I know you probably might think, hey, why am I painting my white canvas white? Right? Well, because if you don't paint it white, it's gonna look bare. Even if we just add gray right on top of this and just do the between the trees spaces gray, it will show that you just left that canvas bare, that you didn't paint it. Okay. So any white would work if you have titanium white or if you have snow white or any white works as long as it's white. Okay. And as you can see, I'm going up and down as I'm painting because these are going to be trees on there, right? And for trees, we need hooks that go up and down. I have a habit of asking questions while I paint. Please don't feel bad if you cannot drop everything and run to your keyboard or grab your phone and comment. It's okay. It's okay. If you're watching a replay, which I know people will be watching this replay, say hello. Let us know if it's your first time painting with us. Don't be shy. I love hearing from you guys. I know that it tells me that, hey, people are painting, people are using your resources, my resources. So it makes me super happy. Okay, I need a little bit more white, and I'm gonna read my comments real quick. Are we painting background white? Yes. I do my mixed media paper. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. But, since I'm just painting for fun and it stays in the pad forever, I don't gesso my paper. If I am creating something um, I would like to give to somebody and using mixed media paper, then yes, then I would gesso it. But just for fun, nah. I'm sure gesso helps, right? So keep going up and down. Make sure that you do not have any bare spots. That's pretty much the whole point. Do not be afraid to move a little bit, fast, because we are simply putting white on white, right? If it's hard to see, like you're looking at it and you're thinking, okay, I think I covered it all, but I'm not sure. Grab your canvas and tilt sideways a little bit, and it will show you some spots will be wet and the other spots will be dry. You will see it right away. Okay, so I am going to rinse my brush. It's not necessary at this point, but I'm going to rinse it because I'm going to run a heat gun. I'm going to run the heat gun um, to help this dry faster. Okay, so you can use your hair blower, ceiling fan helps. I don't have a ceiling fan running because it dries out the paints a lot. Watching now, will paint later. My one at time with you. Okay. I'm going to make a hand painted card. Ooh, that's beautiful. That's a beautiful idea. Okay. So I'm drying this. While I'm drying this, I'm gonna try and talk over it. Tell me, can you hear me when I'm talking over it, or should I just wait? Okay, can hear good, very good. Okay, so listen, from this point, when it's all dry, I should have mentioned it right away, but I didn't think about it right away. You really can change the direction of your painting. You can do a horizontal or vertical, right? You can go landscape or portrait with this. So if you go landscape, you will be able to add more trees. If you go portrait, you will be able to add much taller trees. Okay. So, like right now, it's not too late to change. If you want to change this, it's not too late. All right. Please make sure that your painting is dry to the touch. I have a few spots here that are still wet. Okay, like I touch it and they're still wet. So I just wanted to show you that because as we add grays, we do not want the paint to start pulling. It really shouldn't start pulling yet. We just have one coat of paint, but just in case, since mine is only 5 times 5, I'm sorry, homeschooling mom reading. Okay, 5 by 7. It's not 5 times 7, it's 5 by 7. I'm going to do landscape so the bird can be a good size and 4 trees will fit. That's good approach. I like that. I like that very much. Okay, so I still have quite a bit of wetness here, so I'm going to continue drying. You guys catch up, right? Catch up covering your canvases white. Tell me how you're doing. If you're done doing this, painting it white, you know, super complicated task, right? Paint things white. Okay, I'm gonna say this is good enough. So I'm gonna put a whole lot more of white on here. Okay. And for this next step, you can use your brush, your paintbrush. I do not like mixing colors with my paintbrush because paintbrushes get super messy. Okay, you are super welcome to post your pictures on my page. Yes, and you're always welcome to post your pictures in the group also. So we're gonna grab, so I have this whole puddle. It's almost the size of an egg is what I have. You might not need as much, or you might need more. Depends. So I'm gonna grab, let's start with the pea size. Yeah, size of a pea, ultramarine. Again, you might need more or less depending on the brand of the paint you're using, depending on pigmentation of your paint. Okay, so why we're adding ultramarine is because it will make our gray a lot more interesting in tone than just plain old gray that you get from mixing white and black. There's nothing wrong with that one, but we can get something more interesting. Yeah? Okay, now I'm gonna grab half that, like a little bit of black. You don't want to put a lot on here. You want to mix a little by little to see if you're happy with the tone you get. I know that some people really like their grays like darker, like that background gray. People like it much darker. And some people like it lighter, so it's more like a pastel. So mix your color. Okay, I'm gonna bring this up to the camera, show you. And I would like to add a little bit more blue ultramarine to this. So I'm just gonna go ahead and grab some more. I just want to have a little bit more of this cool blue undertone. Okay. All right. I think I'm happy with this. Okay, so I'm gonna wipe this off, clean this up. Okay. So I'm gonna ask you guys, when you have a minute, to go ahead and like and follow my page, the Luba Carlson artist page, where you've probably found your event when you have time. I know that it could be complicated for many of you because if you're watching live on your phone, then you can't really jump from one thing to another. So I know this is hard. Okay. Let's plan for the trees. Ready? So what I use, this is a seamstress chalk. This is just chalk and it erases if you draw it on your painted surface. It will just come right off like with a wipe or a damp paper towel, so it's never a problem. You can use a pencil. I wouldn't use anything harder or thicker, let's say, than a pencil, okay? So we're gonna start by planning out first the cardinal. And we're not gonna draw it right now, okay? But we're gonna think about where on my canvas do I want this cardinal. The rules of thirds. I don't know if you've heard of those, but it's the easiest way to work on your composition. So you kind of divide to three parts. Your canvas divides into three parts here and then across here. Okay. And then these 4 points over here. So you would either have your center of composition here on this side on these 4 points, 2 points, I'm sorry, on here, or you will have it on here, depending which way you want your cardinal facing. Okay, so here or there. I'm going to put mine here, and mine is going to be about the size of my hand. So I'm kind of thinking probably about here. Why I'm doing this is because I want to mark the branch that he's going to be sitting on. All right. So I'm just going to mark this one branch. That's all I want right now. Okay. So now that I have this kind of idea for where my cardinal goes and the branch, I'm just going to put a straight line going up and going down. Okay. Does this make sense? So here's my branch, and I'm going to make it wide enough for the bird to sit on it. So I'm going to kind of bring it up here a little bit for myself to know where it goes. So that's one. I might, if I want to, and I do, I am going to add another line right here. Freehand, don't worry about it being super straight. Can you see my lines? I'm going to bring this up higher a little bit. Can you see my lines? Okay. You can do this with black pencil because we're going to add, after we do the gray, we're going to add black, and there's going to be black outlines. So this, all these lines don't matter. Don't worry about them. Okay. So now I'm going to add another tree here in the back. Just going. And then another tree. Yeah. And I'm thinking, well, do I want to keep this branch going? I don't know. It will just stop somewhere here. Okay. And then maybe there is another tree somewhere. And I have a mathematical mind. See, I did the same distance. So this one, I'm going to do different. No, I'm going to take this off, and I'm going to make the second tree much wider than the so that I have some interest. See how I'm doing this? So you can add whatever branches you like. I'm going to erase this, and we're going to make this branch a little bit more natural. It'll just go right across. And then this tree over here will have another branch that will go right across here. That's it. Okay? Tell me if this makes sense. Tell me if you can see. That with black paint. Can we do that with black paint? I just kind of, it took me a second to understand. I wouldn't sketch with black paint. Okay. All right. So since I have chalk, I just go with my hand and I pick up whatever dust this could have left. Okay. All right. So I have done this before. That's why I'm telling you. Tell your brain, this is the tree and this is the tree, and we're painting in between the trees. Okay. Yeah. So let's grab that gray color that we just mixed, and let's just go down and up. So you're gonna move from top to bottom. And just work around that tree trunk. Okay. Allow yourself to wave a little bit. You do not want to have like straight, like ruler straight lines. Yeah. Nature doesn't really have those. So try and maybe add a little bit more of like natural curve, maybe a little bit, right? Just paint all the spaces in between, okay? Now, what's going to happen if you painted the tree just by mistake? You painted it gray. No big deal. Don't worry about it. Blend it in the best you can, which means spread the paint over the best way you can. Okay. And then wait for it to dry or help it dry with a hair blower or something. And then simply paint white on top of that. All right. No big deal. It might even add a little bit more of a like an undertone to your tree bark. It might even make it super interesting. Okay. All right. And then over here. My trees are going to be huge. Anybody else has huge trees or is it just me? I love big trees. I love big. It's good. It looks good, right? Okay. So if you are painting on a canvas and you have gray, overlap it. If you wanted to paint your sides, this would be a good time to paint your sides. Okay. Well, this needs to dry. While Howard, Howard Hargrave. I don't know what that means. Y'all, I'm on StreamYard. So if you didn't grant StreamYard permission to show your name, all I see is Facebook user. I do not see your name. So I'm not sure. I used to keep all the windows open and like tabs and seeing what's happening in the group, what's happening on the page, like trying to do all of that. And I don't think my computer could deal with that. It was just pulling too much of everything and we kept losing connection. So I figured it's not worth it. So I need to add more paint like here and there. It's drying and it starts showing the spots that are not covered fully. So I'm going back and just adding gray into the areas where it shows that I missed something. Okay. Just take your time. This is very, very relaxing. Like you're you're just moving the paint down the page or the canvas and up the canvas. It's just kind of sliding and gliding. Super relaxing. Okay. And there is a little bit more on this side. So I'm just gonna take care of that. All right. Just, yeah, okay, fix that. Just make sure you have a nice and even coat. Okay. Now I'm gonna go grab the Cardinal off of my printer. Wait, it didn't print my Cardinal. Oh, I already grabbed my Cardinal. Uh-oh. I already have it. I already have it. I printed this guy over here to show you the parts that we're gonna need to keep in mind to draw. Yeah, to do it freehand. Okay. All right, let's add a little bit of shading to our trees. You can choose either right side or left side of your tree. I'm adding some clean white, titanium white to my plate so that you know what's happening. Here's my white, okay? And I'm gonna grab some of this gray onto my brush, directly onto my brush. And I'm gonna mix it with this white. I want much lighter gray. I still want it to show as gray, but it's going to be like a tint. We do not want a super bright or like a stark difference between the colors. Okay, so I'm going to add this color. So why I'm saying on either side of the tree, because it depends on where your light source is, right? If your sun's coming from the right hand side, then your shadow is going to be on the left hand side. If your sun's light source is on the left hand side, then obviously your shadows are going to be on the right hand side. Does this make sense? So I'm going to do that my light source is on the left. And so I'm just gonna add, you can hardly even see it, but it's there, a little bit of this gray just on one side. Okay. Maybe grab a little bit of water if you need to. You want to blend in the line. You do not want to have you do not want to have a stripe. Okay? Do not want to have a stripe there. Just blend it in the best way you can. And then do the same thing with the other tree. And this will okay, not the branch. This will allow it to sit and dry a little bit, and then we can come back and see, okay, so what's happening, and if we need to change anything else. Okay. So I'm just adding a little bit of water to my brush, and I blend this light gray out into the trunk. I do not want to have any stark lines. Think about makeup. Like, we do not like stark lines there, right? We want everything blended in. This is a little bit darker than this, so I'm just gonna grab some water first and see if this will work it. And it did. And I will just keep working it. Okay. All right. Now grab a little bit more of that gray, and we're gonna do branches. So the branches do get shade, right? They kind of shaded on the bottom of the branch. So you're going to go ahead and grab this branch that's up here, or whatever other branches that you have, and you're going to add a little bit more of this gray, light gray, to the bottom of your branch. Don't overthink it, just put the color in. Okay. Let me know how you're doing. If you have any questions, if something doesn't make sense, just let me know. Okay, I promised to answer questions and I completely spaced out, didn't I? So somebody asked me how long I've been an artist. And I must tell you, not so long. Not that long at all. I was 39, I think, when my niece asked me to paint a flower for her. And I did because I thought, that's nothing, I can do that. And I couldn't. But I enjoyed the whole process so much that I started painting. And so I'm still painting. I'm a self-taught artist. I used lots of free resources available on YouTube. And I took classes and workshops, but I never got a formal art education. And art changed my life. However cheesy it sounds, it helps me with my sanity. It helps me with my mental health. And so I'm just trying to pay it forward with a free group like this. I also have business offerings that are not free, but that's a whole, it's not a whole different story. I might tell you about that in like 5 minutes from now. My mood will change and I will tell you about it. All right. How we're doing with trees? Give me thumbs up. I want to know what's happening. What's happening with your trees? I see thumbs up. Done. Wonderful. Wonderful. All right. Okay. Ready to play with some black? We're gonna add black. So let's add some black to our trees. I'm using the same brush. Okay, I washed it and I brought the tip to like a chisel. It's kind of like a sharp chisel tip right now. Okay. And I'm gonna grab some black, just like that with the tip. I do not overfill my brush. I just want to put some black on it. Okay. And I'm gonna start with the branches because I know that if I don't start with the branches, then I will put wrong markings on things. I do not want to do that. Okay. So I'm gonna start with this branch. And I'm just gonna add, it's like a zigzag and you stop here and there and you stop. Okay. And almost dry brush lets you do like a fun zigzag over here. Yeah. Okay. A little bit more paint. And now I'm going to do this other branch. Take care of that one. Also a little bit of zigzag here and there. Maybe some in the center. Okay. I am not going to put a lot on this part over here because this is where my cardinal is going to be sitting. So I'm just going to add a little bit on this side. And then I'm going to add a little bit going down this way over here for my branch. Okay. Does this make sense? Because if I put black on here, then I have to block it with something, and it's a whole story, right? We don't want that. Grab a little bit more paint. Okay. And now if you're done with your branches, take care of your tree. Random marks, just random, going back and forth, dragging down, flat. Keep your brush flat and just keep moving it randomly. Okay, so some spots can be right in the middle of the tree, like more of a side of the trunk. Some spots can be touching the side of your trunk. If you went out of the trunk like this, don't worry about it. We will add more lines here. We will outline the trunks, so it really isn't going to matter. Okay. I want more here, maybe something small, not too big. Just relax. I know that this is freehanding kind of thing, and it can be intimidating. I know. I've been there. Trust me. I know. But just relax and trust the process and trust that your hand will move the way you need it to move. Also, put your fingers on the wrong side of the brush. Okay. Don't be right here. Right here, you get too much control and it's super hard to make these lines. Move all the way back. All the way back. Just be at the point where you still have a good grip. I sometimes go all the way down here and then I drop my brush. And then I make a mess. I usually drop it on my wet pants. Not a good thing to do, right? So, yes, just fill it up again. I'm going to move my painting up a little bit so that you can see how I hold my brush, and then I'll move my painting back. See, I'm holding it back. It goes flat like a spatula, except for spatula would go up to pick things up, and we need to kind of slide back. Yeah, like pretend you have a super sticky crepe on a skillet, and you just flipped it, and you need to get from under. You need to get from under without ripping. Yeah, makes sense. Okay. All right. I forgot to tell you guys that we usually take a break halfway through, so that if you need to go grab some water or, use the bathroom, catch a breather, just catch up with something, let the paint dry, we have that time. And before we do that, I want to introduce you to my Buy Me a Coffee, Buy Me a Coffee website. So it allows creatives do things that do, but then if you like what they do, you can go and you can just like buy them a coffee. I used to say, buy me a brush. It's really the little things that help, because yeah, I'm teaching 4 free classes a month, and it just helps me pay for my supplies and everything. Okay. So if you would like to do that for me, it's buymeacoffee.com/Luba Carlson. And I am to try and I'll put it in the comments when we have a break, because I will need to go into the group. I cannot add that as a comment from StreamYard. It won't post. So many complicated things, don't you think? So just keep adding your marks for your trees. We're gonna finish the trees before we go have a break. Love. Sorry for that. I always do that. Okay. Let's do the outline. Okay. So whatever you're doing right now, I need you to stop, and I need you, because this is important. Okay. I don't usually boss people around like that, but for this one, this is important. So we keep working with the chisel tip, same black paint. Okay. But we're gonna put the branches first. Okay. So we're gonna work with the first one. And the way I want you to do this is I want you to start on the outside of the branch and then follow the branch down like this, okay? And then cut it into the tree just a little bit. Okay? Did you see that? That is super important, because that makes your branch look, it looks 3D right away. Like the branch is growing out of the tree. It's not just glued onto it, right? Here, let me show you again with this other branch. I start on the wrong side, on the, what do you call it, tip? The end of the branch. And I'm gonna draw my line from here all the way into the tree, and I'm gonna cut it into the tree a little bit, okay? So go, 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 cut in a little bit, stop. You guys got this? Okay, and then I'm going back the other branch, and I need to make sure that I do not bring this line over this branch. Yeah? So the other side, the other part of the branch, this one goes all the way down. This, I kind of over here, this top branch, I draw my line and I stop for the branch that's in front of it, and then I jump over it, and then I work with my trunk, and I make sure that my lines are, oh, that was a branch over here. Okay, I'll fix that. See, over here, I forgot this was a branch and I painted it gray. So I'll have to take care of that later. So I apply different pressure to my brush to make the lines kind of not even. And when I do this, I lead it's from my shoulder. Okay. So here's a piece. The movement goes from my shoulder. I lead with my shoulder. Okay. This is something that makes sense learning if you're gonna paint more, especially like for bigger sizes paintings. Knowing how to paint, how to do this from your shoulder. Okay. All right. So the trees are done. So go ahead and finish your trees. Don't forget to grab some water. Let me find this in the group super quick. Okay, and so oh boy, there's another. Okay. So I was trying to add people before we started. So I was dealing with the person that was trying to hijack um, um my live, and also adding people super fast. And I just looked and there's another almost 30 people there. I'm sorry guys, I can't get you right now. If you're watching replay, I'm sorry. I cannot do the it's real hard for me to teach and add people at the same time. Okay. So I'm putting in buymeacoffee.com/Tuba Carlson. And also this is where you will find my my two memberships. So one membership gets a coloring page, or you can call it a tracer page, that they can use for anything you guys want. You can paint, you can color it, whatever you like. And then level 2 membership the gets access to a little bit more complicated paintings. Okay, so anyway, you can look it up right there. I just added the comment, and okay, it usually allows me to pin it to the top, but not today. Facebook changed something again. Okay, y'all. So let's have a 5 minutes break. I'm gonna keep my painting on the screen, and I will just mute my microphone for 5 minutes. All right, and I'll see you in 5. All right. So, okay, if you have missed the beginning, the replay will be available in the group. Okay. Usually, you can, if you want to watch it right away, you probably can. You can scroll down the discussion part of the group, and you will see the live replay. And I also downloaded into my YouTube channel, and you can just watch it on YouTube. It's easier with, like, you don't get distracted with all the comments popping up and all of that. So it's a little bit easier to watch, pause, catch up, do what you need. All right. So we're going to work on the cardinal. So I wanted to I wanted to show real quick. I painted this little guy the other day. I was having a moment. I really needed something cute. Okay, so what I was going to tell you guys that it really doesn't really matter how you paint the cardinal. Okay, so you just need to follow a few things that are kind of very characteristic to cardinals. Okay, I am what I'm doing. This is a Posca pen. You don't need it. I just need it to show you what it is that I'm looking at when I'm freehanding the bird. Okay, cardinal. It has a crust over here. Can you see it? Can you see what I'm doing? No, you cannot. Hold on. Let me grab a better color so that it all, maybe even, let's try this one. Maybe this one would work. Hold on. Okay, this will work. So cardinals have a crest, right? So we need to kind of remember that. Okay. Also, please don't do what I do without checking if your paint is dry. Mine was not completely dry. Okay, and the tails are kind of longer over here, so we want to keep that in mind. Yeah. Okay. Now for for the painting, um, here's what I would do if I wanted to use this image. Two ways I could, well, more than two ways actually, but I could just cut this with scissors and then, literally set it on the tree where I want it, outline with, yeah, and paint. Another way, you flip this over, you grab a pencil, you rub on your page. Again, you flip it over, trace, and you will get the outline right here. Okay, you can do the same thing with chalk. I like using chalk. You just flip it over, do chalk. Okay, so if you're using the pattern, if you're using the head and do that, and the rest of us are going to start working on creating our own. And then when we have the outline ready, I'll tell you what to do next. All right? I hope this makes sense. Okay, so for those of you who are painting this freehand, here's our cardinal, here's his crust. Okay, so here's his head. Here's his tummy, right? And it kind of connected over here. So the one that we have on the reference photo, he is looking back, but like his wing is right here, like this. So we will add the wing. Okay, but here's what we're gonna start with. We're gonna start with figuring out the size first, and as you can see, these are thirds with the crust. Okay, so the body, the egg-shaped body first, then we're gonna add the head, then we're gonna add the crust, then we're gonna put the tail in, and then we're gonna add. Okay, now that hopefully you understand what we're doing, we're gonna do this here. So we are going to use a much darker gray, and we're gonna also need to use a filbert brush. Okay, pick the size that you're comfortable with to paint the head, the circle for the head. All right. Okay, here we go. Have my brush. I have done some gray left from the trees. So I'm just gonna grab some black, add it right in here. Why I'm doing this is because I'm gonna need to block these black lines so they do not show through the cardinal's body, and so that we can paint the whole body the same way. All right. So my cardinal is gonna sit right here, just like we planned. So his head is gonna be right, his body is gonna be right here. And I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, well, probably I want to move it a little bit up higher. I'll just move him a little bit up higher. Okay. So I'm just gonna start with painting an egg shape right on the branch. Okay. Now, those of you who have followed the tracer and you guys have your outline for your cardinal, go ahead and fill in your outline with dark gray so that we can block all the colors that we don't need. Okay, so we have that body. Now let's look over here. So here's the body, right? Here's the head. Okay, so here's his body. Here's the head. So I'm just gonna put a circle right in here. Okay, and I'm trying to paint it to look like the reference that we have. Okay, so next we're gonna add the wing that goes from the head, curvy line down, and then it creates the wing. So I'm gonna start at the top of the head and I'm gonna go curvy line down, or maybe a little bit more, down up to there, and that's gonna be my wing right here. We are just the outline and filling it in with gray. Okay. Now I'm gonna create his crust. So I'm gonna use my filbert and I'm gonna use it on its side, the thin side, and I'm gonna follow the same wing up to the head, and then I'm gonna just go up like this, up, and that kind of makes this, um, this kind of a question marky thing. Okay, and then you're gonna go down from that, connect it to his head. Doesn't look like a bird, right? And then we're gonna add the beak. It's all gonna come together. Okay? and then here. So he's sitting on the branch and his tail is behind the branch. So we're just gonna add tail. I might need to go back and fix my lines, my branch lines, but that's okay. Okay, how's everybody doing? All right, so for those of you who are doing this freehand, let me show you again on this one over here. If you need to have extra idea, right? So here's your tummy right here. That's your oval. Yeah. Your head. Well, not your head, the bird's head. Okay. And then you connect over there the neck, and then you add your wings. And then you go back for your crest, connect, and there is your beak. I'm just kind of showing, right? And then go down and maybe skip the spot where the branch is, but then our tail, if we're doing it the way we're doing it, the reference is our tail's going down like this. Okay? I have a thumbs up. That makes me happy. Very good. Okay. The hardest thing with cardinals to me have always been achieving the right color. Sometimes I see cardinals and they're like this scarlet red, and sometimes they're orange red, and sometimes they're like other red. Use whatever red you have. Just keep in mind that we're gonna need a lighter and a darker. So whatever tone you're using, we're gonna need to add a little bit of black to it to add some shading. And look at your paint tube bottle, whatever you're using, and look for, like, it could be a square like this, or it could be a circle. You want the one that's completely painted in, which means that this paint is not transparent. It's opaque. See over here, it says opaque, which means that you can paint over things. You can use this paint over things and it not show through. Okay. If you have something that shows half and half, yes, if you have something that shows half and half, then you want to add a little bit of white to your paint and do the first coat with that. And then you want to let it dry and then do another coat. Okay? Am I making sense? I'm using my filbert and I'm going to paint everything that we just did is going to become red. So this is going to be my base, my first base coat. And I am even going to paint the beak with it, even though the beak is going to be, it needs to be kind of this golden orange color. We will work with that. I regretted using the size of the brush on the crust. So if you want to grab a smaller brush, we have that liner brush that might be easier, right? So just go ahead and do that. I just put a little bit of water on my brush because my paint is getting stuck. It doesn't want to glide and move. Okay, checking. Everybody's so busy painting. Nobody's talking. So last year, I live in Texas. For those who do not know, I live in Texas. The town's name is Pflugerville, and I know the whole planet is aware that last winter Texas had the end of the world winter. We had an Arctic storm and all of that. So what happened, besides, all the craziness of being without power for 5 days and all of that stuff, we did fine. My husband grew up in Iowa and I grew up in Ukraine, so we can deal with cold. We know how to, and I know how to deal with blackouts. Growing up in Soviet Union and Ukraine, I know how to do that. And anyway, that's not the point. What I'm telling you is that I think on day 3, the snow started to melt, and then it kind of turned into this icy crust, and birds were just starving. Like they couldn't find anything to eat, and I ended up throwing. I had a whole bunch of. It wasn't seeds. What did I have? I don't even remember. Wheat berries. I think I had wheat berries and something else in the pantry, and I would just scatter it right on top of that icy crust. And I had like almost a flock of cardinals that came to eat, and they all hung out in my backyard like for that whole day. And I thought it was so super cool. I really, really loved that. But then next day everything melted and they found a better place to eat and they all left. So that was kind of sad. I was sad that they all left. Ice. Icepocalypse. Yes. Icepocalypse. That's what it was. We call it Snowmageddon at home. It's Snowmageddon. It was Snowmageddon. Anyway, it was interesting to say the least. It was weird. Okay. So I am reading the comment that says my red is kind of showing black behind. Yep. What should I do? Grab your red, grab a little bit of white, mix it together, okay? And make another coat right on top of where you are, right on top of that other red coat. You might need to, if your red is not opaque, what will happen is that you might need to do 2 or 3 coats before you get to the point where the black lines are not showing. Okay? Jared, North Texas survived it as well. Yeah. I hear, I'm in Central Texas. I hear North Texas had it much worse. Meaning colder. It was colder. It was cold here too, but it was colder there. Okay. So what do we have here is a one big red something, right? So let's do what we need. Let's do what we need. So first thing let's rinse off that brush, and we're going to grab this the liner brush, and we're gonna paint his mask. I call it a mask, his face. Cardinals have this very distinctive mask on them, and it starts a little bit up over the beak, and it goes around their eye. So I'm going to start over the beak, and I'm going to go around the eye like this. Okay. And then I'm just going to bring it back over here like that. So it's like almost like a super round kind of curvy head mark. Okay. For his beak, you want to outline that also like this. I think it's a greater than sign in math, right? Okay. And then this whole part over here, we're going to paint black. Right. Okay, so I went a little bit out of that over here. It's a little bit too messy, so I'm just going to go back and I'm going to fix that. There. Okay, so to make this mask of his, you can make it a little bit more squared if you wanted to, maybe not as round. Sometimes they have that, I saw it, they have it a little bit kind of stretched up a little bit over there to that side. So if that's something, so I'm just going to do that. So I showed you one way, now here's another way. You can also do it this way. Okay? It's still a cardinal. Okay, rinse that brush for now. Okay, back to that small filbert. Gonna grab some of the red that I've been using, some of the black. Just add that black to the red. So what you want, you want to have darker red, and we're gonna use this for shading. So first we're gonna shade the crust, and I'm just gonna do it like this. See, like flicking motion, like that. Then we're gonna add, let's do the wing so that we don't lose it, okay? So we have it started over here. My cardinal is a very well fed. How about yours? Oh my goodness. Oh, you know what I did? Oh my gosh. So here's this piece over here. This one. That's supposed to be behind the branch. Okay, we'll fix that. I keep looking at it. I'm like, what did I do wrong? Okay, so let's do this wing first. Just outline and all the way down over here. Okay. Add some darker spot over here in the kind of back of this wing, I guess. Okay, and then we're gonna add, because this is another wing right here that's gonna be hiding behind the tree. So we're just gonna add this other wing. Oh, I know why he looks like he's so well fed. You know why? It's because this curve needs to go all the way up to here. He's still well fed, but it's a little bit better now. Here. Okay. Let's add the darker red to the tail. Not the whole tail, just some parts of it. Okay. Now I want to make even darker red. So I'm adding a little bit more black. So it's almost black, but it's still red. I could still see. So see if I paint it on my paper plate, it's not black. It's kind of burgundy, like close to that color. Add a little bit here on the back, a little bit to the crest, a little bit over here, some to the wing and to the tail. Okay. My cardinal is super fluffy. Yeah! Oh, sometimes it just happens, right? I like them fluffy though. It means that they're well fed and they're happy. And that means that their feathers are healthy, right? They're fluffy. Or maybe they fluff up because it's so cold that they need to fluff it up a little bit. And so they make themselves look like a little round ball, right? Okay, look. I have some of this white left, okay, and I am going to fix my mistake over here because that is really the wing that goes behind the tree. And so I made this mistake. I painted it wrong. So here is how I'm going to fix it. Add some white. Let it sit for a minute. And you know what's going to happen? The wet paint is going to interact with the other wet, drier paint. And they're kind of going to go happy there. And then we should be able to just lift it. There we go. See, I'm showing you how to fix mistakes also. Such an awesome class we're having, right? Okay, say something. Oh, goodness. Okay, let's grab a little bit more of this white. So see what happened? Okay, and I'm going to put a little bit more of this white on this gray now. That's where it all started. Gonna let that sit for a minute. Well, thank you. Somebody says you're awesome. Well, thank you. Okay. So it's set for a little bit. And baby wipe again. Took off. See, it picks up some of it. Maybe it might not be able to take all of it, but that's okay. That's okay. All I need is just to clean up a little bit because it's easier to use white to cover gray than to cover red. So here, okay. I made a mess. I'm gonna dry it with my heat gun. Okay, now everybody knows how to fix that kind of mistake if that happens. All right, I'm getting some of this white again, and I am going to paint my tree branch. Cover up all the mess that I made. There, that looks much better, doesn't it? It now makes sense that his tummy is actually here, and that's his other wing, right? And he's actually looking backwards, and that's not his tummy. Okay. Thank you for your patience. I apologize if you all guys had to deal with the same mistake. I hope we were able to salvage it. Okay, let this dry, and then I'll see what else we can do with that. Okay, let's paint the beak. Remember that tiny, tiny, tiny piece of yellow that I told you about at the in the beginning? That's what we're gonna need. And it's already red, so I am just gonna grab paint directly out of the tube right on the tip of my round brush. Let me close that and I'll show you. Right on the tip, just a little bit because it's just a tiny beak. And we're gonna put this on the beak. Okay. Yellow is one of those colors that are either transparent or half transparent. See the little square over here? Let me put my hand under it. There. See the little square? It says half transparent. Okay, which means that when we put it on top of red, it kind of made this orangish color that we want. So we're gonna let this dry, and if we want to add a little bit more yellow to it later, we certainly can. Okay, let's see. Let us grab some more black. We're gonna do black. We're gonna use black, and we're gonna use our liner brush. You're gonna want your black to be at the consistency of melted ice cream, so it's easy to work with. So I just added a little bit of water to mine. You see, when it's that consistency, it's easy to glide. If it's thicker than that, it just kind of globs and blobs all over the place, and it's not too much fun to play with. Okay, let's outline the crust. So we're gonna do little by little, whatever we can. Yeah. And then this way. Okay, the wing. See, it all comes together. Okay. So up, down and up, down and up, down and up, all the way back. And then the back right here. Okay. Now roll and pull your brush off of the plate. You need super thin tip of your liner brush. Okay. And you're gonna use it. You're gonna be super light, and you're gonna go around, outline that beak here and here. Okay. And then cardinals, they have an upside down smile. They do not smile. So from that beak over, we're gonna do the upside down thing. That's the cardinals kind of facial expression. that's how they are. Okay. Got this? All right, let's see. So I like to use the wrong side of the brush to make dots. We're going to make a dot for his eye. You can also use the tip of your round brush or the wrong side, whatever you prefer. So grab a little bit. I'm still using that super light gray that I have. It will work. It will work well. And you just want to put that little dot in there because it's a black eye. They have a black eye in that black mask, so you can't really see their eye. Okay. Now I'm gonna fix this mess over here. So I'm just gonna go back and grab some of my red, paint it right next to the tree, right over here. Maybe add a little bit more red to the top of his wing to kind of make it brighter. Add some brighter color red to the tail. Don't have to, but I think it will look brighter if you add a little bit. It will still show all your highlights, shading, but it will also add a little bit more red color, especially to the crust. Like I want to add a little bit brighter crust. Okay. All right. Rinsing my brush. Don't forget to rinse your brushes. Don't leave them in your cups. Brushes really do not appreciate that. Okay. I'm gonna add a little bit of water to this, my light gray here, so it is also ice cream consistency so that I can use it to create a couple of highlights. The first one goes on the back side over here of the crust. That's one highlight. Then I put a couple following this wing right here. Then I'm gonna add one like here. And then we're gonna put a couple on his tail following those lines. Okay, and then one goes right here, right on top of his nose, right here. Well, beak. Nose, beak, nose. You know what I mean, right? You know. Okay. Now let me grab some more black and fix that branch. Just from here to there. Here we are. Ah, as good as new. Looks like it's always been there. And we have the Cardinal. All right. If you would like to add snow, there's a few ways to do that. You can use a toothbrush and just scrape on the old toothbrush like this, except for you need to point it down towards your painting. Or you can do drumsticks where you fill one brush up with diluted white paint and you go like this. I don't like doing that because then I find little white specks everywhere, including my camera. So I will leave it up to you deciding if you want snow and how you're going to do this. I am going to use my old trusty toothbrush here. It's messy. I gotta warn you because it makes your hands super messy. So I just go up. Whoa, that was messy. You just kind of have to not be afraid and create all those splatters and specks of snow there. I have some big ones, which I like, because to me, this is how snow looks. Like in Ukraine, whenever it would snow, like, that fluffy, heavy snow. That was my favorite. That's always been my favorite. All right. So what's next? Next, whenever you're done, if you would like to share your paintings on my page, you're welcome to post it directly on my page, Luba Carlson Artist. I would be so happy to see. Where am I exit? Okay. To see your work. I would be super excited to see your work. Okay. I almost dropped my chair. I was moving closer to the camera. Okay. You can also, I would love for you also to share your painting and Paint with Luba group. Okay. Now, you probably already know that in Paint with Luba, we have a full library of different guides for different paintings. So feel free to paint them anytime you like. I told you about Buy Me a Coffee. Check out the events. There is a new class coming up. Oh, I need to show you this. Hold on just a second. I'll show you. It's right here. This and that. So the next class that I have, it's a workshop. I'm going to be teaching how to paint Northern Lights. It's mixed media, so this is watercolor and acrylics together. And in that same workshop, I'm going to be teaching how to paint watercolor. Here, let me put that on that side. That could be easier. Watercolor wreaths. So that is going to be the same workshop. Starts in November 27. It's $15 to join, and you get a forever access to all the videos, so you can do it on your own, at your own time, at your convenience, and we'll have a support group for questions and everything that you might need. But okay, so this is what's coming up. I cannot wait to see your paintings. I cannot wait to see what your cardinals look like. So let me know, and have a great rest of your evening, depending on what time it is where you are. And next time we're painting the flamingo, the boho autumn inspired flamingo. I thought it would be fun to do in November. All right, so I will see you some other time whenever you're painting. Don't be shy, say hello in the group whenever you see us. And I'll see you again later. Bye.